Coin.
We are live at the Sharonville Convention Center here in the Greater Cincinnati area for the Greater Cincinnati 40th Anniversary Numismatic Expo. It has been a day. Okay, we're going to end the Friday version or Friday day of the coin show with an interview with somebody that I tremendously respect in this business, in this hobby, and in this investing world. Mr. Daniel Malone, Coinhelpu, Portsmouth Coin Shop of Portsmouth, Ohio. We've seen each other here now for 3 or 4 years. And one of the things that I look forward to every year is I always do one big deal with Daniel. During the year, every once in a while, I'll hit up his auctions or I'll call him up or I'll send him an email and I'll say, hey, I need this, or hey, I'd like this, or this, whatever. But every year around the coin show time, I always do one big buy from Daniel. Why? Why do I always do one big buy from Daniel? Well, I'm going to get great pricing. I know I'm going to get a legit coin that's not clean, that doesn't have details, that is not messed with in any way. And I know if I buy a raw coin, I know that coin was judged by this man, who I respect just as much as Mr. Lawson when it comes to his knowledge of coin. And when he tells me that this coin is probably an MS63, I can bet it's either an MS63 or even an MS63 plus, because I know that he subscribes to the mantra, go low. Go low, make sure you're taking care of people. Last thing I'm going to say before I finish my introduction, which has been extremely long, is this man believes, as Mr. Lawson and I do, that every coin sold, we want to have that coin room to grow for the person that bought it so that they can get a return on their investment and grow this hobby and make sure that they feel like they got a great price on a great coin. And it's one of the things I respect about Daniel. It's one of the things I love about Daniel. Without further ado, I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then I'm just going to start asking him a bunch of questions.
Okay. First of all, I appreciate everybody saying hi in the comments. Hello. I'm going to say hello to all of you. Any of you who's here at this show, I appreciate you coming in. It has been a very good show. And obviously, as he said, Daniel Malone of Coinhelpu and owner of Portsmouth Coin and Currency Company down in Portsmouth, Ohio. So yes, I am from Ohio. Someone said that there's my dad here. He's not here at this show. He goes to the Milton show with me. He really can't make it to these shows. He's, like 89 almost. So he has to kind of pick and choose what he does, but he sure is here doing heart. And the first thing he did as soon as I got here was call me to see if I'm making it here safely. So, hey, what can you say? That's what got my dad. Yep, I'm still his little boy.
How's the husky doing?
And Yuka's doing great. She's right now I think she's sleeping. I know it's Marine camera here. I do keep watch on my house. You got the other thing. No coins in my house and no money.
Has the husky tore up in it?
No, not at all. It getting safe a little bit, kind of scraped around, and I said, "You quit that." She can ride out. She's a little over a year now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If any of you remember the videos from when Daniel first got this lucky husky puppy, oh, just a cutie. I mean, just a cutie. So how's it been on the floor?
It has actually real fast. She does have her own YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm going to subscribe to that.
Yeah, we got a golden doodle friend.
Okay.
It's 10 months, well, 9 months old now.
Mm-hmm.
She's 13 months. Mm-hmm. They are two sisters. He's in the pod playing me.
I need you got to give me the
Yuka and friends.
Yuka and friends. All right. I'm gonna subscribe to that because I'm not subscribed. Your opinion of day one of the coin show? How's it been going?
I mean, technically for me it's day 2, but day 1 for everybody is the early bird. And honestly, it's very busy. I've been slammed all day, and it wasn't until about 3 o'clock that it slowed down. So from 10 o'clock till 3, besides eating lunch or going to go get us lunch, I didn't stop. If it wasn't for having Vince with me here, I left my table to eat. I appreciate it. I love having that problem, though. It's a great problem to have. I did a little over 3,000 today, and most of that was silver rounds and carded stuff. Just, I sold a couple of rookie coins. The thing of it is, most of that was just small stuff. That's how many transactions I had. I just ran them all through my point of sale system and probably did about 50 to 60 transactions. today.
Wow.
And they were busy. People were picking just $3 coins, $10 coins, and it added all up to that much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a couple good sales, you know, on top of it that helped make it a little bit better. But it's been, and everybody I've talked to in there, really good too. Couch Collectibles is in here going around, and people, it was great to see that we had video in there, that some people were willing to do that. And it's also going to do is help us go out, because then you can see what we have here. They did a video of inventory, which I'm going to do a little bit of a live tomorrow and show you what I have on my setup. That way everybody can see that. But yeah, great second day from the first day for normal customers.
Outstanding. And then, of course, tomorrow, before we break, we got to make sure you and I do our sale.
Yes.
I'm going to pick up a couple more good dollars from Daniel. Wait till you guys see these things. I'm not going to give away what they are, but just wow.
And I'm glad I did reveal who bought, because I did show them in my video this morning. I did a video of what I bought yesterday, and I said it was with your friend. I didn't say nothing else. I know it's going to be neat. I want to give it away.
Yeah, I've got. I saw those yesterday, and we worked out a price that. Look, Daniel's one of those guys that he could tell me, "Hey, X for this coin." And I don't question it. I don't. I know that, again, going back to growing the hobby, Daniel and Mr. Lawson are two of those types of people that when they sell you a coin, they're trying his best to get their profits covered for operations and all that stuff, but they're also trying to get you to have a return on investment in that coin and get some, get your coin to grow. We call it, growing in the hobby. So it's one of the things I love. I just can't thank you enough for all of that.
No, I appreciate it. But then I'll say this, there's two different kinds of dealers out there, and some dealers retail is what something's worth, or it's a baseline. If they have a nicer coin, their coin's worth a little bit more because it's choice, or they pay retail themselves, just have it for inventory, and they put more than retail on. So we say retail plus for that kind of thing. And you got that with Littleton, and there's some other dealers. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm the kind of dealer, and most dealers, it seems, now when you go walk around the show, there'll be half the dealers. Retail is a price point that you make a discount from, so that you feel like you are getting a good deal on a coin. No, a lot of people think it's a little psychology, but it is a little psychology. That's the way it works in any business. That's why you see $12.99 and $13.
Exactly.
It's all psychology. $12.95. You know. And with me, when I see retail, I'm thinking, okay, how much better can I do somebody than I've got prices on all my coins. Most of my prices are not retail prices, especially on ungraded, but yet I still feel inclined to give a discount on points. I try my best to. Yes, it's like giving money out of your pocket. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing technically, because I own that company. My portion currency 100%, but I feel like I still need to give a discount. It's like when you're a kid and you go to flea market. I grew up flea marketing, and someone comes to your table and they say, "Man, could you take it? How much do you take for this?" You try to make a deal with them, or you go to their table and do the same thing. So it's a give and take.
Yep.
And then one day, he ever wants to sell me a coin back, I know that he's going to sell it to me fair,
mm-hmm.
and hopefully he can make money on it. I'm hoping.
Hopefully it appreciate it, and it gets us both in a better position. One of the things that I've been telling people, Daniel, all day. Everybody in the chat's gonna be like, "Oh, here we go again." Our hobby is under assault. And I say we're under assault from three different forces. One, a lot of the older collectors are unfortunately passing away. Two, a lot of the newer collectors aren't collectors because they're playing Xbox and they're on social media and they're worried about their Instagram account. And third, there is a lot of talk about our government doing a central bank digital currency. And if they get their way, and they do get a central bank digital currency, every dime, every nickel, every quarter, every penny, and every dollar bill gone. And we will be we will make our payments with our phones or our cards. If the central bank digital currency comes, that would destroy the coin collecting community, because if a central bank digital currency comes and there's nothing else coming out from the mint, all we have to rely on is everything that's been produced up to that date. So it would just destroy our hobby.
I have a different thing.
I'd love to hear it.
First off, if it does, I don't see the mint stopping making modern stuff.
Really?
Because they're making money on it. It may end the circulation stuff, but who cares? What are we doing with that anyway? Good point. Is anybody going to make 2023, 2022 coins? Yes, if they have a die crack on them or something, or a cut or something, yes. Or something that's been hyped at one of the channels or hyped on eBay. But really, I think that it would help the hobby in a sense.
Really?
Because of the fact that people are going to be thinking, they're going to make this.
Danielson. See, this is why we bring gentlemen like this in. Please.
And not only that,
Preach.
we can go in there right now. How much you think this ancient coins are a lot made anymore? There's a big difference of that. U.S. coins are sought after all over the world. Everybody thinks U.S. coins is just better and worth more. It's the largest coin market, period. It is. Then you're still going to have bullion. You're still going to have the silver. I honestly think that it will hype it. And if it doesn't continue the first time, if that actually happens, the onslaught at first is going to be phenomenal. People are going to be thinking, if they're not making this anymore, I'm buying it. You can see the same example at the transitional years when they stop making a certain mint and or stop certain design on a coin. It happened with the standing quarter going to the Horsley quarter. It happened with wheat cent going to the world cent. People start ordering the wheats. They're not making anymore.
Yeah.
Well, if they're not making more, they got to be worth more, right? Down the road, things that are though really numerous in common won't increase in value because of that. But there will be some people order. I got a video coming out. It's on seeded halves. And there's a lot of them low message. A lot of them have a very low survival rate. You could still get them for a few $100. And we're talking 12,000 mintages, 8,000 mintages on some of them. And you can still go and get a G and AG example for a couple $300.
Daniel, you just hit on something that I've been talking about. And I would love for everybody that's listening to hear this from somebody that really knows what they're talking about instead of some joker that comes around once a year. Survivability. I watched a video by Dustin Morgan, the late Dustin Morgan, a long time ago. And this is where I first heard the term survivability. It was a video on 2 cent. I don't know if you want to call them nickels or pieces, but I'm going to call it 2 cent pieces for the sake of
it's 2 cent shield, 2 cent.
2 cent shells. So Dustin was doing this, and he said one of the things you got to pay attention to is you can go to coin shows and coin shops and get these things relatively cheap because they're not popular. But you have to understand their survivability rate is also very low. So if you can pick yourself up a 2 cent piece that's in really good shape, understand that there's not many out there, but they're just not really popular. So you might get yourself a good deal. So instead of some jokers telling them coin op, that sits here once a year, could you expound on survivability, how that kind of factored, how it's kind of looked at, and what does it mean for the coins that they're holding in their collections?
If you talk about, you start off with vintage, and some of these coins are high mintage, but the problem with copper is it's one of the most, it actually will corrode more. It's more reactive metal than any U.S. metal alloy they use. It's actually an alloy. But anyway, you think about that for a minute. Lost coins, I think 25 years was the typical lifespan of the phase of circulation. So you've got lost coins, circulated coins that are corroded, and most coppers, it's hard to find a problem-free copper. So you can almost eliminate that if you want a nice problem-free set. Then you get into what is called survival rate. What has survived out of that vintage? You have 1 million vintage. How many do you think survived since 1865? For 2 cent shield? Not very many of them. It's impossible because they were spent. They were used for postage stamps for one thing. They were used for transactions. Nobody really wanted them, so they didn't care if they lost. They just didn't really care about them. And they were a short run. It didn't last for you. So that's some things you have to think about. And to add to this, if there was a band, let's say a young rock band or a pop band or whatever, named themselves 2 cent and literally used that coin as their logo and all their shirts, all that stuff, you don't think for a minute, if they're starting to sell millions and being as popular as some of these bands are around the world, people will want those 2 cents. And they're going to become popular. I'm telling you, something simple as that can happen. And like I said, 2 cent rap. I mean, 2 cent. This is 2 cents, and this is not a 2 cent. This reminds me of the Civil War era. Whenever what we went through, the struggle, and you don't know if that's going to happen or not. And if that would happen, those 2 cents could go crazy. for a minute, and you just don't know what's going to cause it. Anything can cause the coin to become popular all of a sudden. Most people, it's funny because in the coffee shop, people some 2 cents are like, there's a 2 cent coin? People don't know there's a 2 cent coin. Some people don't even know there's presidential dollars.
Some people don't know that there's 2 cent
coin has any potential.
What about this, Daniel? What about the 3 cent piece? Y'all see that 3 cent piece right there? 3 cent piece from 1851 to 73. That thing is so small and so thin. It's smaller and thinner than a dime. How many of these 3 cent pieces are out there? I mean, there can't be that many.
And the reason is that, matter of fact, I'll just say one of the reasons that this right here will slide. And I know somebody found an AU in an album they thought was empty. These are called fish scales for a reason. They are extra thin, almost as thin as paper, and they're a little bit thicker than that. They're one of the smallest, probably the second smallest U.S. coin to the dollar gold.
Mm-hmm.
Second smallest, I think. And these can get lost anywhere, and low mintages. Really, there's not. Heck, I can't even remember the exact mintage. I don't think any of them were more.
I have no idea.
I don't think so. Like I said, they were done for postage stamps. Same thing with you got the 3 cent nickel. You don't know that. A lot of people don't know this. And once it ever catches on that those are out there and they start getting advertised, there's not enough. There's not going to be enough. And the prices are going to go up because that's what demand's all about. That's how capitalism works.
Exactly.
So honestly, I think that if they ever went to that, like I said, digital currency, everybody's going to start thinking, we're not going to be able to get coins. We better buy coins. We better start putting coins back. And I think it's going to happen.
That's a great point. Really, I sit here and I say I think digital currency is a threat to our hobby, but after hearing what you had to say, good Lord, that could be one of the greatest things that ever happens to our hobby. Because not only that, it's going to make people want more, but that may actually be the catalyst. I tell people all the time, write your congressman, write your senator, tell them no to central bank digital currency. But that could also be the catalyst where people can't get this stuff anymore. And they're like, no, we bring back our cash.
Why do you think the banks that were poor managed, it wasn't like all the banks were going to fail, but it sounded like it at first, okay? Why do you think panicked a little bit? Why do you think that excited people? Why do you think people started drawing their money out? Why? Because they thought they might lose their money.
Right.
And if they go to centralized digital currency or central bank, what do you think that's going to cause people to think? I'm going to lose my money. My money's not going to be worth anything, right? What are you going to do with it? Where's always going to be a collector? I don't see it dying. I see it growing. And I think anything we do that way is going to hurt it. Now, I'm not saying it won't hurt it down the road, because you're talking about a generational thing here. Now, I don't think it's silver and gold. I really don't. I just think that, we're in a world right now, and I know a lot of people we think are predicted by based on what's happened in the past, but you really can't, because we've never had the internet unless you watch Ancient Aliens. That's different. Once Ancient Aliens, we got all this. But anyways, as far as we know, recorded history, we have never been connected digitally where I can trade with somebody instantaneously. That's true. You've never had that before. So how can you tell me you can predict based off of currency dying or this or that? You can't. You cannot. You have no baseline to predict what can happen. No one has a crystal ball. And that's why, matter of fact, I just read an article. The economy is, even for the most liberal people who have been trying to define our economy and say predict it, has been doing better than expected. Because we are consumer-based and no one stopped buying.
Right. Well, and
you guys out there, you haven't stopped going on vacations. You haven't stopped getting cards. You haven't started.
I did tell our viewers, in case they didn't know, we make 17 trillion in credit card debt.
Yeah. And another thing that we are and population is still growing. Yep. More people, more stuff's being spent. More kids are out there than more parents and grandparents are buying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's at work here. No one's taking into account our population growth. India is about to become the number one populated country.
India just overtook China for the most populated country in the world.
We're still billions strong. And when you tap into that billions world market, man, you can make all the money you want if you have the right business plan and was able to tap into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I could talk with Daniel for hours. This man just knows everything. Tell us what's going on with Portsmouth. Coin Shop. What's going on? I mean, we all know that you have Coinhelpu, which has been absolutely amazing for research. Tell us what's going on with Coinhelpu, what's going on with Portsmouth.
I mean, honestly, Portsmouth Coin and Currency is just base can. We have bulk-in traffic. Most of it, I have a 1944 copper cent with no network. I sold it worth a lot of money. That's most of the traffic. It is. But we'll have someone come in and buy something. We'll have someone buy a lot of stuff there once in a while. Then we'll have someone call me up and say, hey, I got some coins. You want to buy them? Or something online. We'll ship some coins to me. So what it is our shipping and our inventory gathering and appraisal service. Not a lot going on up front, as far as even being able to pick it. So if every relies on you guys out there in food land and here at the Coin Show, that's why I tell everyone how much I appreciate everyone who does do this with me and supports my channel. Because
auctions.
Yeah, we have some auctions on the site. I do that.
I just took place in my first auction with Portsmouth Coin Currency. I got a MS66 penny. I can't remember the year. I believe it was in 1947. I was bidding against somebody. We were kind of going at it, and I ended up my final bid $50. With shipping.
Okay.
Yep. So 58 was shipping, and I got an MS66. I believe it was a 47. Lincoln had sent slabbed NGC graded, and I put it in with my slabbed Lincoln Cents collection. So just wanted to remind Daniel about his own site that the auctions, you could actually get in there and get a great deal. And I know I did. I got a great deal on my thing.
My thing is that we know that some coins are going to go for good prices, and some coins are going to go for the best. And we have put those auctions up there. It's really for fun, honestly, because we can just put them up on our site and just let them sell. And the auctions are kind of fun. We have fun.
Yeah.
We actually enjoy watching the bidding and all that. I mean, it's just it's human nature, a little gamble.
Yeah. And on the auction site, it's just like eBay. Let me retract that. It's nothing like eBay as far as the professionalism. What I meant to say is it's similar to eBay as far as the notification. So that if you place a bid and then somebody outbids you, you get a simple message, just letting you know, hey, somebody outbid you. And then it's up to you to decide whether you want to go back in and bid or not. So that's one thing I really loved about the auction that I did was, okay, I went in, I did an auction. Somebody started bidding against me. I decided that I wanted that 66 because I'm working on a 66 collection of all Lincoln head cents. And I said that coin's going to be mine. I got it for $50 or $52 plus $6 shipping. So worked out great. And
I got more too.
Rick, you got more
dates, 66s.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to do some chats.
That's on my website. And if I don't have them up on my website, I know I got more.
We're going to have to send you an email.
Yeah, see, I'm doing this right now.
We're doing business right now. Daniel, it's been great. Can't wait to see you on day 2. Day 2, we'll do our deal for our deal that we do every year. So I can get those coins showcased. I don't know if you saw Coin World here. They've got a new app. It's
hey, that's another thing. I did a podcast with Coin World.
Really?
And I don't think it's going to come out before the show. Obviously, it's supposed to come out after the show.
Nice.
Yeah, let's get started. And so it's all to be something interesting. And I'll tell you the truth, it's actually my story. Want me to tell how I got started, and I just kind of just talk.
Nice. So Coin World was here, did an interview with us. Coin World did a podcast with Daniel. Things are happening, guys.
Yeah, Couch Collectibles as well. He came over and did your thing. That's another thing. I don't mention them again, but I'm just saying it's just great to have the video and get this out here on YouTube. This is what we need for our
Yep.
I know I make a living at this. I have to make a living at this. I provide 4 jobs down there. I provided, for my own family in small town. So I have to make money, but I also want to see or have fun and enjoy it. I mean, I love this guy, man. Guys, I know I'm making money off of him. He's a friend, but it's still. Mm-hmm. If I could give it away, I would. I gave the red books. I gave some loops.
Did anybody come and
got a red book? I did. Yes, I did.
All right, good.
I gave it up. I had some kids come in.
Right.
I've got I'll give some more stuff away. If I ain't giving up what is this silver around. I don't know. Some silver.
Oh, maybe that's for tomorrow, guys.
I'll give what I can, but I mean, I got to make something. I know it sounds kind of crazy. I've had people.
It's business.
It's business. You can't help it.
Well, and like I told you guys, I only buy my coin from about 4 to 5 people: Daniel Malone, Robert Lawson, Chuck Daughtry, Joe and Diane Durbin, maybe 1 or 2 other select people. I don't buy from anybody else because I have to know that when I buy a Daniel, it is not details, it was not counterfeit, it is not clean, it is not, unless it's clearly marked. But I mean, I know I am getting quality coinage from a quality person at a quality price. So Coinhelpu, Portsmouth Coin Shop, love having you here.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I love it. And also, like I said, if it is any of those things, it's going to slip through the cracks because I'm not perfect, my staff's not perfect. We 100% guarantee it. Your money back. It doesn't matter. We take your word for it. People say, oh, I didn't get my proof set for my thing. Okay, that's all right. We'll send you one out. If we've got nothing, we'll do it. If we don't, we'll do a partial refund. That's what it's all about. We have to have some trust. Yes, we get burnt every once in a while. But at part of the business, it's just the way it works.